welcome to the Ann and Ashley Show. I'm Ann.
I'm Ashley.
We're here at Connor's Clinic. We are doing part 3 of our EMF series, and today we're going to talk about the very serious topic of 5G technology. And we are doing this episode, this part, just to bring awareness to this topic. We by no means are 5G experts. We've just been doing a little bit of our own research, and so it's just really to get awareness out there, to start the conversations, and because it is something that is going to affect our health.
So whether we like it or not.
Whether we like it or not. Yes.
Yeah, so most of you probably only know about 5G because of the commercials.
At Verizon, we're building the most powerful 5G experience for America. That's why the NFL chose Verizon. Because they need the massive capacity of 5G with ultra-wideband, so more streaming, posting fans can experience 5G all at once. This is happening in 13 stadiums all across the country. Now, Verizon 5G can do this for the NFL. Imagine what it can do for you.
More glamorous than it's not telling you the truth, obviously. It's going to make it seem like it's something you want and you need and you're excited for.
AT&T is creating a 5G network that will change the world. It will be everything you imagined, and everything that hasn't been imagined yet.
How far into the future did you go?
Closer than you think.
That's the power of and.
The one I saw was on the NFL. They were representing 5G in the stadiums, and that it's going to be making everything faster for you in their stadium, which is again hiding the truth of what it actually is going to do.
It's going to be everywhere, and like you were saying, they're trying to make us think it's something that we need in our life by being hyper connected at this hyper speed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I don't really know people who are asking to be hyper connected.
Oh no.
I kind of feel like we're too connected, sometimes, and too addicted to all of our devices. But so the idea of SuperSpeed, being able to download things really quickly, being able to, have all of this access, but trying to portray it as something we need in our lives when it's really something we don't need. But but they're just going to do it anyways. It's like we don't really have control. They're not asking for opinions. They're just developing this technology and implementing it across the nation. And so it's something that needs to be talked about.
Oh, absolutely.
And when we already know that radiation damages DNA, and the 5G technology, it's not taking away 3G or 4G. It's just in addition to what we already have. It's this extra this hyper shortened wavelength frequency that is going to be transmitted super fast, obviously, but in order to get that everywhere, we have to have millions and millions of cell towers, and they are going to be small, so they're going to be able to be placed with it, on your homes, on the tops of buildings, in the street lights, in these devices that you're talking about having in your homes. They're all basically going to be little receivers for all of this 5G frequency.
This image was online that is describing exactly that. So if you can see here, just bombarded with every type of receptor in every appliance, constantly, all day, every day.
Yeah, basically we're going to be human microwaves. And one of the articles that I was reading, it was saying 5G will be similar to turning on your microwave, leaving the door open, and having it on for the rest of your life and standing in front of it. So we're basically cooking ourselves.
Terrifying.
Super scary.
And the skin thing you mentioned.
Right.
Too.
And so while 4G technology, the wavelengths are just traveling on the surface of your skin, 5G, we know that is immediately absorbed. So it's absorbed by your skin through your sweat glands. And so it literally is heating the skin and literally is
Yeah.
cooking us, like
Yeah,
in
it
a
was
microwave.
eyes and sweat glands are the antennas for that radiation.
Yeah.
And like, what are you gonna do with your eyes? Just or your sweat glands? You can't hide them.
You can't cover that up. I mean, you can to a
Those
certain
armor
degree, but
suits.
no, we're talking like we need to build these suits of armor to protect ourselves.
Seriously. Yeah.
Because we already know it's damaging, and the scary piece too is that there are no studies on 5G, this radiation and the long-term effects.
Right.
So we already know it's damaging, but we don't know the long-term effects. So we are a human science experiment, and not only us as humans, but animals and the plants and the planet, the whole living ecosystem is going to be affected.
And they aren't doing research because they don't want to wait. They specifically said in some interviews, we want it now. We don't want to wait. We're not going to do a couple year-long study like other countries are doing because we're America. We have to do it first and the best. And we have a history of doing things without researching it and just putting up with the consequence after and the result of it, like the vaping that occurred.
Yes.
All those injuries, they didn't research long-term effects.
No, they're just trying to get a product out there to make money.
Exactly.
I mean, it comes down to...
And now get those injured kids even. Yes. Like, at what cost are we doing this? And we're doing it to ourselves.
Right.
Like, why? Like you said, no one asked for it.
Yeah, nobody's asking for it. It's just something that's being implemented and without consent.
Yeah. And the cell phone companies who install them too, if your city agrees not to have them, your state can be sued for taking them down, is something I read. Don't quote me on that. We are messengers of this information. Don't get mad at us for what we come across, but we encourage you to do your own research on that.
You have to do your own research, and you have to start thinking about these things because of the effects, and start questioning. And we'll link some things to this video on how you can take action, what you can do. Reach out to your local officials, write letters, voice your opinion, voice your concern, demand for more research, delay. How can we delay this? Well, we can come together, and the more people that voice their opinions and voice their concern, the more we are heard.
Yeah.
So
4G can go up to as high as 6 gigahertz. 5G can bring us to 30 to 100 gigahertz range, which again we've never been exposed to. Yeah, especially long term. There's also 5G, according to the World Health Organization. They classify radio frequencies, radiation, and they put 5G in comparable to a class 1 carcinogen along with arsenic. So it's like, why on a toxic scale are we doing this?
Why is this glamorized?
Yeah, totally. They're going to be putting the antennas on every single block, and it'll be arranged between like 20 meters from your house. So didn't you say personal...
Well, they were saying that it was like every 2 to 8 houses will have the equivalent to their own cell tower for every 2 to 8 houses.
That is mind-blowing. Yeah. Like, I don't need my own cell tower, thanks. I didn't ask for that.
I'm important, but I probably don't need my own cell phone tower.
Exactly. Again, it's not something they even plan on testing. They don't look at long-term damaging results. They want to be the first nation, and then they will be putting 20,000 satellites to cover the planet. So again, how are we going to even escape it? You leave Earth? Like, no. It's just like, you can't even go in nature without having 5G on you. Oh, we didn't cover that. It's a tracking device.
Right.
So it can go through the level that it's at, because it's a military grade level, can actually go right through concrete walls. So it'll be really easy to get into your home. It will be obviously on your phone because you want your phone to be faster and better and whatever. but it'll be able to sit there and track you right then and there, which we already have facial recognition in play. So this is like that on steroids.
Right.
It will be able to link to other cameras that you go to Target.
Right.
It will link you to Target.
You'll never be
alone.
skipped. Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll be tracked from camera to camera to...
Exactly.
I mean, it's like the movies. It literally is
totally.
something out of the movies.
And they were saying, too, like, you can be watched when, let's say you go to Target. Who doesn't go to Target? So you go to Target, and let's say you just browsed whatever, you left with nothing.
Right.
They want you to be a consumer, so then they can flag you. The next time you go to Target and buy nothing.
Lip gloss.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna market the lip gloss, which they already do.
Right.
With, you know,
your
Google
Facebook
searches,
stuff
but
and, yeah, all those ads just talking about something, your phone will pick it up, and your Facebook ad will be whatever you were just talking about. And it's like, okay, so now add 5G and the trackable device that it can. It just, they want you to be a consumer and have that control over, make you think that's what you want.
Yeah,
and it's
mind control.
It totally is. Totally.
It's not funny.
No, it's not. It's terrifying. Like, what do you do? Laugh or cry? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable because it's, how does that even seem like a good idea?
Right.
And most people want to, maybe some people want to disconnect. Well, how do you disconnect? Shut your phone off? No. Because there's a satellite above you. Like,
yeah.
it's so,
Oh.
it's scary. This
It
is a scary topic. Their goal is to, according to the government, when they had their interviews, they want to make the nation safer and healthier. Again, glamorized.
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't know how that will make me safer because you're watching me. Are you going to protect me too? Like, are you my security system?
Right.
Or how is it going to make me healthier? You are literally exposing us to excess radiation. We get enough already with what we have.
Right.
So I just can't wrap my head around their thinking to that extent.
The only conclusion you can come to is that it's for ultimate control of the population. And
absolutely.
It's scary.
It is scary. And it will just, oh my gosh, it's just, I don't want to know what it's going to be like after a year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the sicker will get sicker, and the healthy will get sick.
Yes.
That's literally, when you said open microwave, that is so, I can't. Like, how do you not get sick from that?
Yeah,
like,
you will get sick.
Exposure.
And then who's going to take care of the sick? And we're basically self-destructing.
That is absolutely right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
your LED lights, they will also be putting into your house. We'll have little micro, I'm not exactly sure what they called it, but it was some type of, what did we use the term? It was like micro.
Oh, a transmitter.
Yeah, in the LED light. So, again, now you have your devices, but now you have the lights that you use.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, and the sad thing, too, is that little kids are more susceptible.
Oh, yeah. Way more susceptible.
I would imagine that elderly as well, just people who are, you know, brains developing, susceptible to things because they've aged and the immune system, all of these things to protect our bodies are starting to decline. And, you know, there's going to be just the behavior issues. I mean, look at the world that we live in today with all of the mental health issues and the school shootings and all of these things that are happening just in never before seen amounts. And it's only going to get worse with all of this exposure and what it's going to do to behavior and to brain health and to moods and overall health. And
it's incredibly scary.
Yeah.
Well, and they set the safety standard so high that they can get away with that.
They're trying to say that
it's considered safe
within the range.
When the range is outrageous. So it's measured in microwatts, centimeters squared. So a cell phone was researched to be able to function at 0.0000000002. That is so small. You know, like your cell phone should be still functioning at just that, and we would not be harmed. But of course, they're smartphones, so they're elite. Yeah. So children's symptoms can start to occur if they're exposed to 0.05. Okay, now where does all of this add up. So a couple more researched things. Extreme concern should start when you're exposed to 0.1. Laptops, Wi-Fi, sperm DNA, and decrease of sperm and adult symptoms start at 1.0. So that's things we're exposed to every day, and we're already
currently
surpassing
being exposed to these things, and we're currently seeing rises in infertility, like we talked about in the schools.
And all those symptoms you just described.
Yeah.
So that is without 5G.
Yeah.
Then at 2.5, it showed altered calcium metabolism in the heart muscles. So now you're already impacting an organ at 2.5. At 4.0, your hippocampus starts changing, and you're affecting your learning and your memory now. DNA damage occurs at 6.0. So your smart meter, just one alone, contains 7.93 microwatts per centimeter squared. Now you're already damaging your DNA just with one smart meter alone.
Right.
Like, that is wild, because that you don't get a choice on.
Either.
I didn't even know there was one on my house. Like, I just looked.
Right.
Like,
you actually have to call
yeah.
and tell them after it's already been installed against your wishes, you know, and have them replace it. And then you're charged a fee for them to come out and do that, and probably another fee on top of it to have the original, I don't know what it is, analog device where they actually have to come out and read the meter.
And pay that person.
Yeah. You know.
Oh, it's so mind-blowing, just the smart meter alone.
Right.
And so then after you're exposed to all of this radiation, I guess, or this amount of microwatts, then your behavior can start to change when it reaches 10. So 10, that's still pretty low, I guess, because apartments with 12 smart meters reach 19.8. That is very high, and a lot of people live in apartments. Yeah. So now you're already exposing them to more than 30 minutes, and their behavior could start to change. Their DNA is already changing. Yeah. Infertility might be on the rise with the sperm DNA. It's like crazy. But the standard for US and Canada, they set the safety to 600 to 1,000 microwatts. That's like way off the chart.
Who's monitoring these people who make these safety standards?
So that's exactly why 5G can expose you to so much, because it's considered safe. Right. Even though it's not been researched long term, and we know radiation is damaging. Yeah. I just can't get over it.
It's a huge topic.
It is.
And obviously there's some huge red flags that we just discussed. You know, and there are things you can do to protect yourself. Again, you're never going to be able to get away from it altogether, but in part 1 and 2 of the EMF series, we talked about ways that you can kind of protect your home, ways that you can protect yourself and your kids, and specific things that you can do. So be sure to go back and reference those. And again, this conversation is just to bring awareness to things that aren't being discussed and you're not being told. So please do your own research. Share this video with your loved ones. You know, help get the word out. Certainly like and subscribe to these videos for more information that pertains to health topics that people should really be concerned about.
And we'll attach, there's also some links through our research that we'll attach too. So, and then of course there are communities that put together websites to bring more awareness on injuries they've experienced. So we'll also include those too, and it's a big deal.
Yeah, big deal. Yeah, and we should be thinking big things about this and taking action.
Because they're smart cities is what they want to create.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, stay tuned for our next episode.
Yes.
I don't know what the topic is going to be yet.
It's a surprise to all of us.
We'll make sure it's a good one. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.